Jim, I don't think there's any topic that has sort of defined the young revolution more than the topic of war. I don't know anyone who's really in favor of war, but today we seem to have an entire young generation absolutely opposed to the very idea of it.
And probably because they're the ones that always fight the wars. They're the human fodder for the war machine. And there just seems to be no way around it. There's just no cause. I'm sure that the whole basis of the war going on now is economic. And I think young people just got tired of being grist for the mill. But you know, it's a funny thing. From the comfortable position of your TV set in your living room, war is a very, no matter how horrible, well, it's the horror, it makes it very glamorous, you know. It's a great drama, life and death right there, a struggle. And we're all infected from youth, you know, with little kids running around playing war and playing cowboys and Indians or whatever. You know, it's somehow it's just ingrained in you from the beginning that there's something heroic, you know, proving yourself in battle and all that kind of thing.
The very hero concept seems to have changed in these past few years, doesn't it?
No heroes have come out of this present conflict. It's very strange. There's no support for it, hardly even in the press, you know.
And the young people no longer worship warriors the way we used to.
Right. Somewhere in you have to entertain these utopian concepts that life could work without all that struggle. You know? Probably not, but I mean, something in us always entertains the fantasy that the world could run without war.
Well, society has always needed, apparently, to worship heroes. Now, where are young people today looking for heroes? What type heroes?
I think the new heroes will probably be political activists. In the 20s, it was sports figures. 30s and 40s, it was movie stars and World War II aces and all that kind of thing. And then the music figures became the heroes. I think the next heroes will probably be a more intellectual sort, political activists and perhaps scientists and computer experts, people like that. People that have an understanding, an intellectual awareness, and a knowledge of how things run, how modern society runs, and they'll probably be the new heroes. I think each generation supersedes the last one in intelligence and awareness, and I think there's been a giant step recently. The young people that I've seen in my travels around, you know, while they're very young and naive in a lot of ways, I think they have an incredible intelligence and awareness of events that far surpasses the people I grew up with. I think, you know, I like to be pessimistic, but I think from what I've seen, they're far better equipped to handle what's coming. Well, they'll have to be.
Jim, in talking about life today, we have the business of the sexual relationship, the relationship between men and women, and we all wonder how much it has changed, the role of the man in modern life and the woman in modern life. We even have a horrible thing called unisex, which terrifies me. Do you think there's much of a difference in the style of life affecting the man-woman relationship today?
Well, you know, when you look at history, it seems to be cyclical. There have been many periods in history where women were the major controlling influence in life. matriarchal societies and all that kind of thing. I think women are becoming increasingly important. It's a ridiculous thing to try and talk about, in such simple terms, but I think the influence of women is becoming more and more felt. I'm not sure I can expand on that, but I think you know what I mean. I think, the unisex trip is really a cop-out. What's happening is life is becoming more and more feminized.
Really?
I think so.
That the male is now less masculine because he has no need to be very masculine.
Yeah, that's true. And there's no frontier to conquer, and hunting and fishing and all that. It's not a basic survival thing. And I think life is becoming increasingly feminized.
And softer for man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's good?
Sure.
Why?
Well, I think women have it all over men, really. I really think they have the right idea.
Which is what?
Well, less inclination toward intellectualizing things and the need for formalizing and idealizing life and just simply accepting it and living it.
We tend to think of women as being starry-eyed and romantic, but if you think about it, most of the romanticizers and the idealists are men.
Very true.
Do you think that will change?
Yeah, I think it's cyclical, but I think in a highly complex and industrialized system which we're engaged in, machines take the place of an earnest day-to-day tackling of survival, and when that disappears, then you get increased feminization.
Well, you're a student of the cinema. You've studied cinema at UCLA, and one of the things that you've written about the cinema is this: it is wrong to assume, as some have done, that cinema belongs to women. Cinema is created by men for the consolation of men. Would you enlarge upon that?
Well, who makes all the films? Who runs the projection booth? It's that masculine desire to dominate life rather than just accepting it and flowing with it. And I think that is responsible for the creation of films and a lot of other things.
Well, men are dominant in the arts, aren't they? As writers, composers, actors, almost everything.
Yeah, there are very few female artists.
You think they're wise to keep out of it?
Well, yeah, I do. Although, it's a contradiction because I'm totally hung up in the art game. But I think, women have less need to reestablish a connection with life because they are life.